Welcome back. We're visiting with Jaime Garbutt, who's visiting us here from the city of Kamloops, here in the Environmental Educator.
That's right.
Excellent title. I like it.
Thank you.
Speaking of environment, that smoke out there just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's just sitting heavy on our city, and it affects all sorts of things.
It definitely does. And normally I tell people one way to be a little more sustainable is to hang your clothes outside.
Save some money, save some power.
Exactly. You have that nice smell, but right now you're not going to. It's
going to get that outdoorsy fresh scent that you're going for.
More like a campfire.
Yeah, because you do notice it. I mean, even at the end of the day, I come in the house, and when I take off my clothes at night, you can smell it thick on your clothes, even if you've been inside most of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So I myself have been putting things into the dryer. I will admit that, but there is a way to still be a little more sustainable.
No shame, Jaime. It's okay.
I feel so bad. But there is a way to get around that. So if you actually throw a towel into the dryer, that'll help reduce the drying time. And so that's going to save you electricity, which will save you money.
Just like a dry towel?
A dry towel, yes. That's going to wick away some of the moisture. It's also going to allow for more airflow.
Okay.
So it is also important to clean your lint trap as well.
Yes.
You want to make sure that's clean, and then every once in a while you want to make sure that you clean the hose as well. And if the shorter the hose, the more efficient your dryer will be as well.
Okay.
So those are some good points to consider.
Tips. I didn't know that about the hose.
Yeah,
I'd never heard that before.
Also a fire hazard if you don't clean it.
Yes, so cleaning it I know about.
So that's important. But there are some alternatives too. Like if you still want to dry your clothes, you can just have those little portable units that you put up in your basement, or I throw mine up in the living room as well.
Yeah, why not?
The kids use it as a little tent, right, when you do the sheets and stuff.
Dual purpose. And you brought us a couple of examples, pictures of what those can look like.
Exactly, and this is something that you could do year round. So this is something that I have that's similar, and they just they pop up, they collapse quite easily, so they're really great for storage. And again, you can do it year round. These are something that's a little more permanent, and then again, you can use it in the winter time, and they're very convenient, and they kind of fold away. They're nice.
I like that one.
Yeah, and there's this one I think is great because you're actually repurposing an old ladder, so that's another great way of being sustainable.
Yeah. And that would usually, you could hang that over top of your washer and dryer as well. Something from the ceiling saves a lot of space.
Exactly, yes. And then this one's just a retractable one, so you can use it and then pop it away. So another great way of just being sustainable.
Perfect. And good alternatives.
Yeah, and when you do dry your clothes, but with the air, it's going to prolong the lifespan of your clothes as well. So that's a little more sustainable as well. You're not having to replace your favorite
not so
blouse.
hard on them. Yeah, and they don't catch on buttons and
Exactly.
zippers. And that's funny. I've always heard you can put a wet washcloth in to get wrinkles out of things in the dryer, but for some reason, it never occurred to me to put a towel in for faster drying. Yeah. So you do that year round as well.
Do it year round.
Save yourself some money.
Exactly.
Great. What else is happening with the city right now? Anything else in sustainability happening?
Well, water conservation is always an important thing. Also, right now we need to be mindful of rodents. So they're kind of an issue as well. So you want to make sure that all your fallen fruit has been picked up. You don't want to provide any food sources.
Started going to
They're not great. So make sure that all your fallen fruit has been picked up. So any ways that you would manage your attractants for a bear, it's the same kind of rules for rodents as well. So just make sure all your fruit's picked up. Avoid leaving water sources out as well. Leave the pet, don't take in your pet food as well, because they will get into your cat and dog food as well. They're looking for food. No bird feeders, right? You shouldn't do that for bears anyways.
Yes.
So
that's a problem that seems to be escalating within city limits?
They are around. We do know about them, so it's just managing them and preventing them. So if you do hear any noises or scratching within your home, then you have a problem. You might want to get a professional.
I beg you, for all of our sake, don't leave that food out.
Exactly.
It's funny, but I think I might be even more afraid of the rodents than I am of the bears.
They're gross.
Yeah, and it gets out of control so quickly. It's one of those problems that just escalates.
Exactly. They're prolific breeders, so they can reproduce so quickly. So it's just managing them, and if you notice a problem, just dealing with it right away. The traps are very inexpensive. I'd advise against poison, because if a rat does eat the poison, then a bird of prey could eat the rat. It's,
then you've got a reciprocal problem.
They could, die in an area where it might be hard to reach, and then you have an odor problem. So,
or a dog comes along.
Exactly, right. So the traps are really inexpensive. You can get ones that are $5. I just bought one where you push a button, it's $15, and it's so easy to use.
Yeah,
so
I've had those too.
Yeah, so it's just getting on top of it early and just being aware that they're out there, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I know I've had neighbors who are like, this is embarrassing, but it's a neighborhood problem. They might not be living at your property, but they will travel to your property and look for food sources. So we're all in this together.
So instead of being ashamed of it, be proactive and get on top of it.
Exactly, yeah. I've talked to my neighbors because we noticed a rat problem last year where they were eating my tomatoes. They weren't living on the property, but they came and they ate the tomatoes.
Wow.
So,
and how did you know it was rats and not something else?
Just the bite marks. You could see like these teeth marks. And then I started talking to my neighbors, and the one neighbor found one in her pool. The other neighbor opened up about it as well and said that he'd caught several. So we just started talking. And
so one more reason to be doing this sustainability stuff in community as well. Be discussing it with your neighbors and alternatives and options.
Exactly, yeah. So and it's just, we got to eradicate them because they can do a lot of property damage. They can chew electrical wires, cause fires. They can just do a lot of damage to your home.
Inside cars, all that kind of stuff, make nests and...
Yeah, and they spread disease. So I'm like, oh, they're gross.
There's kind of no pros cons list for this. There's just a cons list.
Exactly.
Okay, for more tips, where can people visit you guys?
Kamloops.ca.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in and giving us great tips and freaking us out just a little bit. Just enough to get us motivated. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, thanks for having me.
We're going to take a look now at the one-day weather forecast and see what's coming up right after this break.